I didn't just hear you say that. You're going to let him live? After everything he's done? Kill him already!
Wait, there is another option. Batean is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining. What does loyalty matter? We are what we are. The joining binds us to the Darkspawn. You know this. If you were to forswear your oath and flee today, you'd find yourself in the Deep Roads, or the Blight Lands given time. You'd seek them out, or they'd seek you.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not! Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you! How can we simply forget that? Joining the Wardens is an honor, not a punishment. Name him a Warden and you cheapen us all. I will not stand next to him as a brother. I won't! Some things can't be undone or forgiven. This goes way beyond having spotless honor. We aren't talking about a minor hiccup in his past. I didn't want to be king. I still don't. But if that's what it takes to see Loghain get justice, then I'll do it. I'll take the crown.
Listen to this. Can you see how disastrous a king he'd be? Putting his own selfish desires above the needs of his country? You can't seriously support him.
And I thought you weren't going to stab me in the back. Funny how nothing ever turns out like you thought.
Alistair, compose yourself.
Fine, you want Loghain and the Grey Wardens so badly? Then I'll be leaving the Wardens to marry Anora. Right.
And now, lords and ladies of Ferelden, there is still a blight to defeat, and armies to gather. And I appoint this man to lead us in both. We will not allow this land be further threatened by the Archdemon. Gather your forces, and await the Warden's command. On the morrow, we shall begin our struggle against the greatest threat Ferelden has ever faced. And we shall triumph over it, for we are Ferelden.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the Taint for the great. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
I understand.
So it's done. My father lives, and for good or ill, he is now a Grey Warden. Thank you for giving him the opportunity to undergo the ritual. It couldn't have been easy. He does indeed. And my future husband is upstairs, no doubt glaring out of the window and pouting. He is so much like Cailan, it's disturbing. The Darkspawn run rampant over half of Ferelden. We are all about to have a very bad day. Arl Eamon has left for Redcliffe, and tells me that our armies have almost fully gathered there. I will be heading there myself. Bring your companions, and join us at Redcliffe Castle as soon as you are able. You have united Ferelden, Warden. Now we face the Blight.
It is done. There's no need for you to take the final blow. Allow me. Isn't this why I'm here? Perhaps, but why should you be the one to die? You're the reason this creature lies defeated, not I. My joining the Grey Wardens was a death sentence. If I survived the joining, it seems only fitting that it can be because I was destined to perish here. Good, I was hoping that there would be no argument. I salute you. The Grey Wardens could not have chosen finer. Would that I had been wise enough to realize that sooner. I do my duty now as I always have, with all my heart.
And then, it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come, but the Blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its queen. The Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. My father Loghain, the man who led Ferelden to freedom at the Riverdane, gave his life for us and earned his redemption by slaying the Archdemon. But the one who led the battle against the Darkspawn, thankfully, remains with us still. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. Grey Warden, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon you might request of Ferelden's queen? Very well. My people seem to forget the plight of yours all too easily, do we not? Let it be known that Ferelden hereby offers its full military support to the new King of Orzammar and will aid in reclaiming the parts of the deep roads it has lost. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens? I am certain they will be relieved to know your intentions. There is a group of eager Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you are ready.
So, Loghain was killed by the Archdemon. I suppose that has a certain amount of justice to it. You did what you thought you had to, and it worked out. So all is good. I am. I actually am. I just didn't see myself ever being where I am now. Duncan is dead, and I'm no longer a Grey Warden. And I'm king. That part still keeps surprising me. But I'm not angry. No. I'm actually a bit jealous that you're staying with the Grey Wardens, to be honest. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Until then, you'd best get on with your procession. Your adoring public awaits.
Allow me to offer you my personal congratulations, Warden. I must admit that while I did not share my father's pessimism regarding the Grey Wardens, I had my doubts that such a small number of you could be victorious. Yet here you are. The Maker smiles upon you, or so they are saying. Luck and destiny are two branches of the same tree. May I ask you a personal question? I would like to know how my father died. I know that he killed the Archdemon, but that is not the whole picture, is it? Can you tell me anything else? Thank you. I am glad to know that he ended his life as the man I remembered. Tell me something. Is Alistair always like that? Well, he answers every serious question with a jest. Is that normal? Thankfully, he has surprised me with his eagerness to learn the business of ruling. Despite his questionable humor, he may yet be a good king. Oh well. His heart is in the right place. In that he reminds me of Cailan, which is no failing. Now I see Arl Eamon gesturing to me. There is more work to be done. I must take my leave of you, I fear. Enjoy the rest of the celebration, Warden. I shall speak to you again before the day is done.
Glorious! You've really showed these humans something. Took down the Blight practically single-handed. Exactly. Give these tall folks something to chew on the next time they badmouth a dwarf, that's what. I'm not just here to witness the whole human spectacle, however. The Assembly contacted me with a message for you. I guess they figured once a manservant, always a manservant. I don't mind. Thing is, we've both been given leave to return to Orzammar. Apparently. I went down with you. Seems I rise back up with you, too. Seems Harrowmont is mighty grateful. He's declared you the heir to House Iduken. Full rights restored for us both. And the Assembly is considering naming you a Paragon. Getting the humans to help Orzammar like you did, that should make it a lock. As am I. And if you become a Paragon, that will make you the only one alive by my count. Not a bad change from an exiled murderer, no? Congratulations, my friend. So, you think you might head back home? To tell them of the humans coming at the very least. That's too bad. Well, I'll go back to put the house in order at least, should you ever change your mind. At any rate, I'll let the humans get back to their dwarf worship. Still makes me smile to hear them talk.
Duty. No, yes. Yes, I probably am. I want to do this. Not to mention that you're the best friend I could ever have asked for. I would be dead if you hadn't saved my life a dozen times over by now. So let me save yours just this once.
And then it was over. With the archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come. But the Blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its queen. Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Alistair, the son of King Merrick and last of the Therin bloodline, gave his life for us by slaying the mighty archdemon. But the one who led the battle against the Darkspawn, thankfully, remains with us still. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the hero of Ferelden. The first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. Grey Warden, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon you might request of Ferelden's queen? An excellent point. We can begin with a monument here in Denerim, dedicated to Alistair and all the other Grey Wardens who fell to save us. We should also collect scholars to learn more about the Darkspawn. will face them again, here and with the dwarves. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens? I am certain they will be relieved to know your intentions. There is a group of eager Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you are ready. Allow me to offer you my personal congratulations, Warden. I must admit that while I did not share my father's pessimism regarding the Grey Wardens, I had my doubts that such a small number of you could be victorious. Yet here you are. Normally I would call that bravado, but it seems your confidence is deserved. Tell me something. Is Alistair always like that? Joy. Thankfully, he has surprised me with his eagerness to learn the business of ruling. Despite his questionable humor, he may yet be a good king. Oh well. His heart is in the right place. In that he reminds me of Cailan, which is no failing. Now I see Arl Eamon gesturing to me. There is more work to be done. I must take my leave of you, I fear. Enjoy the rest of the celebration, Warden. I shall speak to you again before the day is done.